Jessica, I'm so grateful that you're here. I think front and center, I want to talk to you about some of the back and forth. The nuances get confusing, but there's a lot of requests to get more information out of the EPA. And I'm curious as to what people are talking about on the ground today.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's great to see you. I think one of the things we're talking about right now is there was a cancellation for the hearing that was supposed to be had tomorrow, and due to Bill Johnson's schedule and the potential government shutdown, that has been postponed, as we understand. But I do want to touch a little bit about Ukraine. I think it's really important to understand that me personally, I support uplifting people that are suffering. I think one of the things that's really important is to recognize that Biden was put in charge of the American people, and the American people, my community, continues to suffer. And it's okay to throw a life raft to other countries like Ukraine, but it feels like East Palestine still has weighted boots, and we're drowning in toxic water. But Elizabeth, for a second, if we could just talk about one of the real reasons why we are in this situation in East Palestine. So I recently joined Beyond Plastics as the Appalachia director, and one of the things that I'm looking into is the vinyl chloride that was spilled. So we know that the train was carrying 700,000 gallons of vinyl chloride. This vinyl chloride is used to make PVC plastics. So this is your number 3 plastics. These are single-use plastics, and these are plastics that simply cannot be recycled. And so these plastics contribute to this massive global waste problem that we have now. Vinyl chloride has been a known carcinogen for almost 50 years, and yet we continue to put it on trains and we run it through town after town after town, and there's very little to no regulations. So yes, we need regulations on rail safety, and yes, my town continues to be a sacrifice zone, but let's go ahead and start with the banning of vinyl chloride. Let's help prevent this from happening in any other community.
Right, and I hear what you're saying, and we had a graphic, it was just up a moment ago, and it just said basically the money that has been spent in Ukraine and the money that has spent in East Palestine. And I understand that it's not that you don't supporting other countries. I think from a personal standpoint, I have seen celebrities, I have seen lawmakers, and I've seen the president go to Ukraine. I'm just thinking about drawing attention to the issue, because I hear what you're saying, but my point is, are others hearing what you're saying? That's sort of what I'm getting at here. It's not apples to oranges. It's not that I don't support one and support the other. It's that why don't we have room for everyone at the table?
I can't agree with you more. I think that we should certainly support those that we can. I think we should also support the American people. This is a problem that we have been fighting for almost 8 months now, and it's certainly something that I hope won't get forgotten, and I hope that East Palestine is able to set the precedent, because this is something that I do believe will continue to happen if you live near a train track.
And before I let you go, with some of the lawsuits that are happening, if I'm not mistaken, they want to get the emails from the EPA and compare them to the email from the independent investigator. Why do we have to request that information? Are you worried that things are being hidden?
Yeah, I'm absolutely worried about who tells the narrative, right? So we have this new executive order that's coming out from Biden, and it's an incremental change, right? But it feels like the title of the executive order is really lofty. And so we have a lot of missing pieces, a lot of missing information as a resident. And for me, it's about how do we build the narrative that we continue to suffer, that we continue to have unmet needs. And I think that it's important to start that litigation and to continue to pursue that avenue. But it's really going to start with that emergency declaration. We have got to gain the access to resources.
Okay, and I only have about 25 seconds left, but before I let you go, I'm also really curious about the moms. How are the moms doing?
So So I like to say mothers and others because I think it's really a more inclusive statement. Yeah, it's terrifying. The people that are taking care of children, we want the best for our children. We know that there are volatile organic compounds in our homes, as well as recently we found out in our schools. So I'm hoping that some of the independent research that we have coming down the pike is going to recognize what those VOCs are exactly, so that, again, we can get the resources that we need here.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.